Good afternoon and welcome back to day 7 of the 29 days love challenge. I want to welcome you guys back today. Really excited. I want to go through some things quickly, and of course, I got my buddy next to me, Isaiah. He's my youngest son, and man, I just want to go over a couple of things right away, and I want to say thank you for your support of the love challenge. Um, let's see, I'm gonna run up here and I want to tell you how real quickly how I got to this was that um, I joined starting in the new year. I joined the 31 day wisdom challenge, right? And I was truly blessed by the experience I had going through Proverbs, the book of Proverbs for 31 days and listening to so many people talk about each chapter day by day and talking about the power of wisdom. Well, my wife, as we were driving on a road trip, and I was listening to one of the wisdom challenge on that particular day. She said, "You ought to do a 29-day love challenge," right? And I was like, that sounds like work. But as I thought about it, and of course, if you heard day one, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, if you heard day one, my good friend David Belton, we call him Bubbles, was on the show when I was sharing with him about the power of love and the power of random acts of kindness and acts of kindness. And he's automatically, man, he gave his story on his friend's dying wish of her last words were to her husband was like, "Hey, you know what you can do for me? Tell everybody you see if they want to do something for me, right? Wake up every day and do an act of kindness." And so I want to, start off by this saying that we are in day 7 and that you can go back to Lowe's More the Blueprint on Facebook and Lowe's More the Blueprint on YouTube, and you can start like I did. And I didn't make every one of the wisdom challenge every single day. Probably 50% of the time I was busy, like you're busy, and you have a busy schedule, right? I had to see the replay, right? So they would send me a replay, and then I would send the replay. I would listen to the replay, and then I would share it, right? And so if you don't get to listen to this right now, right, you can go back all the way and catch up. You can go back to day 1 and catch up to day 7 and go on to day 8. But I want you to know that this stays on here. Lowe's More the Blueprint on Facebook, Lowe's More the Blueprint on YouTube, the Love Challenge, right? The 29 days Love Challenge. And I started out, as you see on the little caption or the logo, I started this out with Joyce Meyer's book, which I participated in so many years ago, The Love Revolution, right? And she is for me, one of the most powerful books that I've ever read besides the Bible, right? Because the Bible is a manuscript that shows us how to love, and it demonstrates within it uh, all the love that God showed towards his people, and so yeah, if you miss it now, go back and check it out, catch up, share it, right? That's what I'm saying is please share it. And one of the things we're trying to do in these 29 days is that we want to change a paradigm. We want to change our environment. We want to change our culture, right? And this is the main scripture. It said the fruit, right? It didn't say fruits. It said the fruit of the Spirit is love, and then the attributes of love is joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. And it says, against such is no law. And, we've been going through these attributes we dealt with so far. We stay in kindness because we believe of the importance of kindness, right? It's an act of love. We've dealt with patience, right? We've dealt with joy. And I think yesterday I was dealing with peace. So today I want to talk about or kind of stress gentleness as a act of love, right? And the power of love is patient, it's kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it's not proud, it's not rude, it's not self-seeking, it's not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrong, it does not delight in evil, but rejoices in truth. It always protects, it always trusts, it always hopes, and it always perseveres. Love never fails. So, I don't know if anybody has had an act of kindness done to them. If you've had an act of kindness done to you, right? Done to you, yeah, put it in the chat, right? And if you've done an act of kindness, right, put that in the chat also. And remember, when you manifest love, it's not what you get in return, right? You don't hold the door for somebody waiting for them to say thank you. You hold the door because it's an act of love. You hold the door because you will block your own blessing. You hold the door, somebody goes in and you start fussing with them. You could have said thank you, right? You could have said thank you. You block your own blessing, right? You didn't do that with a genuine, authentic mission of love. So don't block your blessing, right? By doing something, I'm doing this act of kindness because I'm looking for something in return. I'm doing this act of kindness because somebody's going to give me some money, right? I'm doing this act of kindness because people are going to honor me. That's not why we show love. We show love. We show unconditional love. It makes no difference like what the person does, what the person's been involved in. We just learn to love people, right? Because God is love, right? And so, my youngest son Isaiah is sitting next to me. So, Isaiah, what's your thoughts? Has anyone done an act of kindness for you?
Yeah. I go automatically to Andrew Starker. Right. I was playing Miracle Baseball, played baseball for about 2 years, and we developed a great relationship. And over the years we talk, we're on a consistent basis. But he actually bought me my first wheelchair when it came to wheelchair basketball, customly made. And he was just as young as I was, so he got gifts for his birthday, and got money and spent it on me to buy me my first chair that I used all the way up until I graduated high school. And it definitely was something that I wasn't expecting. Definitely appreciated it, definitely used it. But it was something that, sticks with me to this day. And, I think the one thing about, kindness is sometimes it's direct. It's like that person challenges you to be better as much as you like you just said, which is block your blessing, or you challenge the what ifs or different situations like that. It's some things that are direct. So I remember a time where Poppy used to say something, right? He used to say, don't put can't in your vocabulary. So that's something that for me as a young kid, I always said I couldn't do something because it was a challenge for me, not knowing that if you just work as hard as you can, that you could eventually get past that challenge. So that was one thing that I felt was also a stepping stone, a need for someone to say you can get through it. And I think those are things like that, which are the two things that you know pushed me to be the person I am today.
Awesome. And so the second question is, has have you done an act of kindness to somebody else?
Well, I mean, for me, coaching basketball is the easiest way for me to relay an act of kindness, whether it be purchasing something for a kid, a basketball, maybe a shirt, sneakers, whatever it is. That's something that I genuinely enjoy without reward. So I think the one thing that I've been doing over the years is allowing kids to relay messages. I think kids sometimes don't open up about certain things that they deal with. So being a person that they can rely on, or now there are kids that I've coached that are currently playing college basketball. So now it's just sending a text message, checking in to make sure they're okay, and genuinely giving them the advice they need to, get to that next level, get to where they need to be. And it's an important part to be in a person's life who may not have their dad in their life, or does have their dad in their life, but still has challenges, connecting with their parents. So sometimes it's just being vocal enough to say, you can text me, call me, and communicate with me at any point in time. So I definitely believe that, as long as you're there, for me personally as a coach, it's being an impact, making that impact without reward, and I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, and Mr. Starker not only was, Isaiah got to ring the bell down on Wall Street at the stock exchange because of Mr. Starker and his family, and also they were a blessing to your wheelchair basketball team as well.
Definitely.
They gave, I believe
Every
it
year.
was every year they gave $25,000 towards Isaiah's wheelchair uh, basketball team.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what we were talking about. I want to say thank you guys for pausing during your lunch, right? You hit the pause button, right? If whenever you stressed out, I figure like whenever you stressed out, hit the pause button, right? And think about how blessed you are. Or you think about how somebody's been a blessing to you, right? And you hit the pause button, you think about, man, let me pause for a second because things are a little erratic. How can I be a blessing to somebody else? Because sometimes we just get caught up with life cares, right? Life situations, working, being busy, right? I hope that in these 29 days that God will make us more sensitive, right? That we could hear his voice, hear his sound, make us more sensitive all around us on our jobs as we walk the street. There are so many people who are hurting, right? And you're so busy. You're so busy thinking about you and what your situation is, right? That you can't see that you could be a blessing or help to meet the needs of somebody else because we just caught up in our stuff, right? So I pray that in these 29 days, at the end of it, if 21 days can change a habit, right? Or if you can learn something in 21 days, imagine what you can do in 29 days when it comes to showing more love, right? And I want to show this quick video here. I'm going to show you this quick video of what we're talking about. We want to show you an act of kindness and love. I want you to see love in action, right? I want you to see love in action. So check this out.
Hoping to save up for college, 18-year-old Ebony Williams tallies her tips at the end of every shift at the Waffle House.
You ready to order, babe?
She was working towards her higher education that busy Saturday morning when she met Adrian.
He was like, my hands are not functioning too well. He needed me to cut his food, and I did.
Having trouble cutting up his meat, the 78-year-old asked for help.
My hands are not up to par. If I want to cut my meat, I got to look like I'm starving it.
A Of course she said yes, but what the two didn't know is that they were being watched by another customer.
It was so busy in here, you know, and she actually like took the time to stop and hear what he had to say instead of, you know, walking past him. And that just meant something to me.
Laura Wolf snapped this photo in the middle of that moment.
And they got a fancy picture of my suspenders in the back.
But what no one expected was what happened next.
Somebody told me a few days later that I was very popular because they got me on Facebook.
A moment now captured in time also captured the attention of thousands on Facebook. And that sweet gesture was rewarded today with a sweet surprise by the city of Lamarck
as Ebony Nene Williams Day.
I got my own day.
and a $16,000 scholarship from Texas Southern University.
I got a scholarship to TSU.
A life-changing gift for a tearful teen who still says she did nothing special.
No, it's something I'll do any other day.
Awesome, man. I don't know. That's a powerful act of kindness right there. And so Isaiah, when you think about it, and I think we had just a brief conversation on it. When you think about all the remnants or all the solutions that could be done today, what do you think about the power of love and what impact that love could actually have?
I mean, it's obviously a bigger question. You know, all around the world, we see a lot of things that, go on. And it's a lot of things that we not necessarily can control. But, I think if you just start your day with a genuine, for me personally, it's just like a genuine thing that you can do. So when I go to work, working with kids, or whether it's coaching or whatever the case may be, just ask someone about their day. And I think that's where it starts, because then you start to really get to know and build relationships with people. And not everybody is going to have a good day. So if that one thing that you can do is just to communicate, figure out why that person is going through what they're going through and being there for them. I do a weekly or monthly check-in with anybody that I have relationships with or friendships with, where it's like just checking in to see if they're okay, because I know there are people that would do that for me, which is just sending a text message. How's your day going? How's work? How's life? And really getting into a detailed conversation, because you never know what a person is going through. I know for me, the college experience has not always been easy. Work hasn't always been easy. Sometimes you're looked at differently. So I think that's one thing that, leading with love, which is what we talk about on a regular basis, which is if you start with that, it's a lot easier to brighten up somebody's day.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And love is so powerful. One of the things is that, as I said earlier, is that sometimes life is hard, right? Life is hard. So we wake up every day trying to meet our needs. We wake up every day trying to take care of our family, right? So life is tough, right? And so sometimes we can get so caught up in, what we need or what we're trying to accomplish to meet for ourselves, for our families. Sometimes we're just not aware. We're hoping that, over these whatever days are left, this is day 7 of 29 days, that at least if we can sow a seed, right, or throw a pebble in a pond, right, and we start to get a ripple effect of showing love or acts of kindness or peace or bringing joy to somebody's life, or today's word is gentleness, right? How do we become more sensitive, and gentle. This is one of my favorites here. To be kind and love the things we need most. The Grinch saying that? I couldn't comprehend that, but he said it. And of course, gentleness. Look at it. Gentleness is so powerful, right?
I think in a lot of these pictures that you're showing today, it's literally about the patience in the process. And I think that's the one thing with gentleness is really it shows a sense of comfort, and allows people to go through their day with you approaching situations at a certain patience,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Man. It's like, you Roxy. Hey, what's the word? Challenge. I'm challenging you to love every day. I'm challenging you to think about somebody other than yourself every day. I want to thank my man Gary McIntosh, all the way from the Bahamas. Of course, I want to thank my wife. She's on here. It's lunchtime, my Aunt Joyce. I want to say thank you to you for jumping on. Yeah, it's awesome, man, to see you guys on. Hey, share it. If you share it with another person, I guess a goal is, if I had to come up with a goal, I'd like to see now over these next how many days, we're in day 7, right? I think the max number of people who've actually been on, well, I think the first day we had a number of people on, and during the weekend we had a number of people on. And I know it's tough. It's your lunchtime, but you got a cell phone, man. You got a cell phone, iPad, computer. You can grab your lunch, right? You can grab your lunch and share this love challenge. 30 minutes. That's all we're looking at is 30 minutes. Pause for a second and just pop on with us. And here's the other thing. Just share it. I mean, just go to your Facebook, right? Go to your Facebook page, and just share it. Check this out every day, 30 minutes, right? We're trying to change the world. We're in the midst of a love revolution, right? And Dr. King, he said it so eloquently. He talks about the power of love, right? And his book, The Strength to Love, right? Hey, it takes strength when God says not only to love yourself, but he said to love your enemies. I mean, that's a tough one right there, right? To love people, right? Here's the craziness. People are doing some strange things. People are doing some crazy things, right? People have the power of choice, right? They can do anything they want, right? All God asked of us is to love people, regardless of their choices, right? Is to love people, right? That's all we got to do is be kind to people, right? So they don't dress like us, so they don't act like us, so they don't make the same decisions we make, right? Be kind.
Yeah, I think the one thing for that, I always start with a message to players or anybody I meet is I'm not perfect. And if you start with that, I think everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has to learn from them, so to judge someone because of what they've done in the past or the things that have affected them, maybe they haven't gotten past the obstacles that challenge that we talk about. It's just, how do you get past that problem and figure out the solution? So everybody has to figure out the problem to their solution. Well, their solution to their problem. So it's always a challenge, right? And eventually you just got to get through it.
Yeah. And people like I didn't understand. You don't understand as a little kid. CJ, Mr. James Jones, Mr. White, Mr. Tewitt, Mr. Coleman, Miss Brown. We didn't know, right? That they were exhausting us, right? We were making mistakes and saying things and doing crazy stuff, and they would just show love. Remember, part of love is a dove and a serpent, right? So love comes with a hug, and love comes with discipline, right? Because if you're doing something crazy, somebody got to discipline you, somebody got to straighten you out, right? But yet still show you love. And when I became the executive director of the Boys and Girls Club, man, I didn't have that dove. I didn't have that dove side. I had the discipline side. I was like, okay, you messing up in the club, you out. We giving you back your membership, and then Mr. Jones will say like, hey, you have to be patient with the kids when they come in the door, right? You need to ask yourself a question when that kid comes in the door. How was his day? How was her day? Right? Did they eat last night? Were they homeless last night? Did they experience domestic violence last night? Right. And so he changed the way I thought when a kid walked in the door. Right. And so he made me think differently about showing more and manifesting more love. And any final thoughts, Isaiah?
Nope, just lead with love.
Lead with love. Like lead with love. I like that. And so I'm going to show you our closing video. Right. We're going to show you the closing video. And we'll see you tomorrow, 12 o'clock, lunch break, pause. Please share this with friends. Share this with, anybody. Just share it. But I want to show you this, our final video that we found. And we're just going to outro as well. So look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
A.D. Williams once said, "Imagine what 7 billion humans could accomplish if we loved and respected one another." Just imagine. Imagine if there was no greed. Imagine if there was no comparison. If everyone was running their own race, but cheering for all others at the same time. Maybe we'll never see that in our lifetime. But what we all can do is start with ourselves. Start with yourself. Choose to lift others up. Choose to set the example of kindness and integrity, the example of compassion and understanding. There's a quote that says, "No matter how educated, talented, rich, or cool you believe you are, how you treat people ultimately tells all." Integrity is everything. It really is. Who you are is far more important than what you have, and it will always be. Who you are is measured by how you make others feel. Be kind to each other. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Choose to be the change you wish to see in the world. Decide you will not wait for someone else. You will set the example. Be kind. Because you never know how much that person is suffering inside. You never know the difference your words can make, the difference your presence can make, the difference you can make to one human life. Be the reason someone believes in the goodness of humanity. Be the reason someone else decides to make a difference in others. Be the influence you want to see more of. Always do what is right, not what is easy in the moment. Kindness spreads like a virus. When you do good to another, that person does better to those they come in contact with. You really can make a big difference in the world today and every other day. Anne Frank said, "In the long run, the sharpest weapon of all is a kind and gentle spirit." No one has ever made themselves great by showing how small another is. Be kind and always build others up to the best of your ability. Treat everyone with the same level of kindness that you would like for yourself. Not because everyone is nice, but because you are. Because karma makes no mistakes. Because it is right. Because you have integrity. Because you want this world to be better when you leave than when you arrive.